but on our large load and ratepayer protection bill, just to go through this, what this bill does basically is try and deal with any potential eventuality where a new large load might come into the system, and that large load might have additional costs. We want to ensure that these costs are not socialized to other existing ratepayers. This is, for the most part, practice in the Public Utility Commission. This is a practice that they, for the most part, follow. And what we are trying to do is somewhat codify that so that it becomes a backstop should anything in the future happen. Again, this is looking into the future. This isn't necessarily saying that we've had widespread issues in this in the past. We're trying to make sure that some of these changes into the future can be addressed as presently as possible. This basically says that any new large load, which is defined as 50 megawatts or larger, that accumulate in over 60 months, that it'll be up to the Public Utility Commission to do a no harm test, meaning looking at those loads and looking at the effects of those loads, and that they do no harm to existing ratepayers in the form of reliability or costs. We also look at those from the standpoint that this cost of service to them into the future does also not affect any existing ratepayers. Additionally, these new large loads, if they come in, they might need things like additional infrastructure to bring these new large loads in, that there is a financial security that say we put that infrastructure in, but then that large load for some reason backs out, that we make sure there are not stranded costs, that they have a financial security to make sure that none of those stranded costs also affect existing ratepayers. And so this also has a continued oversight aspect to it from the standpoint when we do a rate case, that in that rate case, you look at the impacts of those large loads. And so, again, these are things that do happen in the Public Utility Commission. We're trying to codify that and make sure that this is in preparation for any additional large loads that might come into the system, and that we have this protection in place. So I stand for any questions.
Thank you, committee. Some questions. Representative Crane.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm going to move to send House Bill 911 to the floor with a due pass recommendation. If I could speak to that motion.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Members of the committee, this was a significant effort started by Representative Mickelsen and Representative Garner, but the laboring oar has been picked up by Representative Veely, and I want to applaud you. I saw a side of you, Representative Veely, that only being on the job about 90 days, I didn't know you had such great skill in negotiating difficult issues, but to watch you work was truly a delight. And I applaud the power companies, Rocky Mountain, Avista, and Idaho Power for coming together on this. This is consensus legislation. There's no opposition to it. You've done a great job with it. So thank you very much for your work on this issue.
Thank you.
That was a nice compliment.